Piers Morgan issued an on-air apology to Jay-Z and Beyoncé this week regarding an interview with Jaguar Wright, who made allegations on Morgan's show against the superstar power couple that turned out to be false. Wright, a singer, recently appeared on Morgan's show Uncensored, where she spoke about Sean Diddy Combs' recent arrest. For 4 years I've been screaming not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters, Wright said during her interview. Elsewhere, she claimed that Jay-Z and Beyoncé both have hundreds of victims. On Tuesday, Morgan revealed on his show that Jay-Z and Beyoncé's lawyers contacted him, and that Wright's claims were totally false and have no basis in fact. The thing about platforms, the reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear, Morgan told his audience. That's why we invited Wright on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. He continued, well, Jaguar, unexpectedly, made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. We had lawyers contact us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with a legal request to cut them from the original interview. Morgan concluded his message with a direct apology. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored, he said, but like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theater, there are legal limits on us, too. And we apologize to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Jay-Z and Beyoncé's lawyers sure work fast. By Jennifer Zahn, a Vulture News blogger covering music, internet culture, and TV. Bey and Jay don't play about their reputation, or at least their legal team doesn't. Piers Morgan, yes, the guy who claimed that he lost his job at Good Morning Britain because he refused to say sorry for his comments about Meghan Markle, has issued a public apology to Beyoncé and Jay-Z less than a week after a guest on his Uncensored show made allegations about them. Singer Jaguar Wright brought the Carters up while appearing in an October 2nd episode and discussing the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. For 4 years I've been screaming not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters, Wright said, going on to allege that Jay-Z and Beyoncé have hundreds of victims. In an October 8th monologue, Morgan shared that the couple's lawyers reached out to say that Wright's claims were totally false and have no basis in fact. According to Morgan, his show will be complying with a legal request to cut the claims out. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly on a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theater, there are legal limits on us, too, Morgan said. And we apologize to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Jaguar Wright, a former collaborator of Jay-Z, appeared on the program on October 2nd and labeled the mogul a monster. She accused Jay-Z and his wife Beyoncé of being similar to Diddy, claiming they had hundreds of victims with stories about what they've experienced. Morgan did not challenge Wright's unverified claims, which prompted the Carters' legal team to respond. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said, in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact. And we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly on a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theater, there are legal limits on us, too. And we apologize to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
Not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview, and we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
These are some of the things Jaguar Wright said about Jay-Z as well as Beyoncé over the years.
How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly publicly? Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Ford?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. Pierce.
So that little clip was from the Piers Morgan show. But I was wondering, did he do his research, his due diligence on Jaguar Wright and all these conspiracies she comes up with? Obviously not, because he was quite surprised on the show when he told her Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here to defend themselves, and he moved on, and he did that 2 or 3 times. I think he cut the interview really because she continued on the same path, just disparaging Jay-Z as well as Beyonce. She wasn't really listening to Piers Morgan when he said, let's move on from that. But this is Jaguar Wright, as she is known on YouTube for all the locals, all the bloggers. This is how she talks about Jay-Z and Beyonce. But obviously, Piers Morgan was not fully aware because he was sent a letter by Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer correcting the situation, and he had to pull the plug on that interview with her. In other words, he cut her out of that interview and he apologized to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Jaguar has always made her rounds locally on the bloggers' platforms, but she got a big break. She was on national television with Pierce, and I think she blew it because those who find that she's a conspiracy theorist are saying that, okay, she went on that big platform and she caught up. She was along the same line. She didn't have any proof of what she was saying. Even Vlad told Pierce that he doesn't put credence on anything that Jaguar says because he views her as somebody who makes a lot of false claims. And false claims it is when you don't have proof. So she's never been able to produce proof on anything that she says about these celebrities. Now, the takedown of Diddy, that's not because she predicted it. That's because it was in the making. Everybody knew that this man was doing a lot of things behind the scenes, and it was just a matter of time. Whoever fed Jaguar the information, she came out, and of course, feeding her the information gives her the information to get on a platform and talk about it. And this is what I believe has been going on for years. Not that she was there per se, because like so many people have said, she haven't put out a record in over 20 years. She haven't been to any parties in how many years? We don't see a picture of her at any party with Diddy. So how does she know all this information? And people have concluded that someone is feeding her the information. We also don't see any picture. I'm talking about intimate pictures. We don't see her and any of these people she claims she had a fling with, or who liked her, or they had a situation going on. We don't see any pictures as proof. Anyone can put out claims on just about anything. But the proof is in the pudding. You have to have the proof, either some type of video, some type of picture, some type of recorder. Where's the proof? Jaguar does not have proof, but she constantly makes these claims. And I say she doesn't have the proof because she haven't provided any so far. I believe if she had the proof, she would have provided it. I think what she's doing is looking for attention. She's an attention seeker who moved to a bigger platform to get it. If she had those pictures, she would have put them out with her in common. Now, she put out a lot of innuendos and allegations concerning Common also, and he did not answer back. Why? Because I believe they all have her down as a mad woman, and you do not put any wood in that fire. If you know the allegations are false and there's no proof, then why answer back? Now, Jaguar always says, well, I'm making these claims and no one has ever sued me. And she says so. And a lot of her fan base believe, okay, she hasn't been sued, therefore she's right. Well, that does not mean she's right. It simply means, in my eye, that she hasn't been sued because these people believe she's a mad woman who's looking for attention. And if they sue her, she will have the attention that she's craving. She don't mind going to jail. She's been to jail a couple of times. So jail is not a problem for her. Even if she's wrong and they find her guilty and the judge says, okay, you got to serve 6 months or whatever, she don't mind. It's more important for her to have the attention. In terms of them suing and getting any money out of her, she don't have the money to give them. She is pretty much broke. So if they sue her, they can't get anything. So I believe this is why people haven't sued her, because they would feed that fire that she's craving. They would feed the attention. On that note, I'm over and out. That's my commentary on what's going on right now with Jaguar Pierce Morgan and why he had to pull the interview that he did with her recently, because it's unfounded. There's no proof of all the things that she said about Jay-Z as well as Beyonce. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.